I'm here again with another analysis. This today we are going to take a look at these XRP news, which was very significant, which had a very significant impact on the XRP currency, cryptocurrency. And then after having a quick look on that news, we'll directly dive into the XRP chart, XRPUSD, and we will start analyzing it with technical analysis via price action method. And as always, we start from weekly to have a good understanding of the history a little bit, and then as soon as we get closer to the current time and price, we will dive into the lower time frames, daily and hourly, and based of of those three, we will come up with short, mid, and long-term conclusion for that analysis. So let's just get a start with the not the chart but the news here, which says repo enjoys a rally on signs it will win in a fight against securities. The key points are repo's XRP token, which is these companies' cryptocurrency, by 25% on news that it looks likely to win its suitcase against the securities, and defendants of repo have argued that the ruling against the securities, in its case against Voyager, should work in their favor. And exactly for that news, now we can jump into the chart. And you can see on Tuesday we had a significant just increase increment on its value. And this is what exactly we're going to take a look at. But this is the daily chart. Let's jump into the weekly first. Let me just scroll a little bit out to zoom out the chart to take a closer look. Okay, what is going on here? I'm seeing, almost a range momentum. Yeah, it has a significant increment back in the history, coming back to the initial point. We had another just bumped up and coming back almost to the same level. It seems that it was working as a heartbeat or something like that. So if I get a closer, zoom in a little bit, because it's a weekly chart, not zooming out a lot, it's not going to give us a good understanding of the current situation. Um, Let me just count these uptrend, this second heartbeat here in the history as an impulsive wave. Then with that in mind, I can actually grab my Fibonacci retracement tool and I can see how much it has been corrected, because we are seeing that it is almost close to the initial point of these. So as you can see, it has been just past the 78% of Fibo. I can see that here also I can find a very important zone. I can see that price has been reacted to this level uh, several times in the history as the support, and when it got broken, now it is as valid as before due to polarity principle, and now it is behaving as the resistance, and it has been just reached out to this level again. Maybe we are going to see another reversal in the future. We don't know, but this is exactly we are going to talk about. That's the first thing that I want to uh, have that in mind. Let's remove this and just have a reminder, add a reminder that it was 78% of FIBO, this resistance zone. So it doesn't seem to look like a corrective structure as we had in the history, that it just returned almost to the same level. And again, it's just we had the second heartbeat and coming back to this level, almost again coming back to the level. So we had as just from the beginning that it was this long time. Now we are just had a little bit of increment after these kind of emotions coming up and back. So anyhow, what we're seeing at the just current past months or just last years, we are seeing that it has been moved the price between an horizontal channel, which I can actually have these as a very important support zone. This support zone can be extended to recognize more key points in the history, but I think it is enough to just um, take a look at these um, very close history, because we already can see a lot of points that price has been reacted, so it is enough um, to clarify the validity of this support zone. So I guess I'm happy with this weekly chart. Before jumping into the daily to take a closer look to this kind of range market here, let me assume what type of wave we had as 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 of this downtrend. So let's just grab this corrective wave. It might be an A, B, C down to bottom. And also I can count these as the 1, 2, 3, and this range market as a sideways corrective structure 4, and some sort of possible 5 in the future. So these are the ways that I might be counting this wave as the impulsive and both corrective structure. I would like to keep this for now the most possible way of counting this wave. But as you can see, it has been past 78 percentage, and it's a huge, the 78 percentage itself is a huge amount of correction. And it also has been passed, and now this level is behaving to this level as the resistance. So it is actually not going to be a corrective structure because it is almost 100 percentage, but it still can be a valid corrective structure. It doesn't mean that price cannot exceed this level for its correction. Anyhow, I'm happy with what we have as the weekly. Don't want to spend more time on this. Let's just jump into the daily, take a closer look to these range market. Let's assume that it's a corrective structure as of the fourth wave of our impulsive possible fifth 5-wave structure. If that's the case, when price reach out to this level, uh, as it was let me just clarify that here on the top was our initial point that we had this third long term or C wave, and now we are actually going to have this as the correction of that wave. If that is the case, maybe I could do this on the weekly because I've zoomed out a lot. Let's just get back to the daily, sorry, weekly. Grab this Fibonacci retracement tool again, and I would like to see how much it has been corrected. I can see that, yeah, this is also the 78%. This support zone is sitting on the 23 percentage of the minor wave, this C wave corrective. So I can just update this as also uh, also 23 percentage of Fibo. This is going to be a minor wave, the corrective structure. So this 78 percentage is the correction of this B impulsive wave, 78 percentage and more. But now this 23 percentage, if I remove this retracement tool, this is the corrective of this impulsive downtrend this time to the up. And yeah, having a corrective structure like this to 23 percentage, yeah, it is okay. The sideways structures usually are going to be less than 50 percentage. So now I can go back to the daily view to get a closer look to this corrective structure, if we want to count it as a corrective structure. Let's see how I can see this. This has been created an ABC, and some sort of, again, ABC coming back to this level, or maybe ABC coming even back with a shadow. Let's just count them as such. So this is going to be our ABC, maybe the minor wave. Let's just change it, because this is in the end our possible force wave, and these are the minor waves of this force wave as the ABC to the top, and also another ABC as this ABC to the down. And it seems that we are going to have another ABC, and these ABCs are the whole, it seems to be a combo corrective structure. So this is going to be our first ABC as W. So we have going to have an X as the link to connect the second ABC as Y here. So this is the C is the last minor wave of this W, and now we are inside this possible ABC to the top of this level. Anyhow, that's good. That's a good understanding again. Let me adjust this level because I feel that it is so long. So I can actually make it a little bit thinner. I can extend it here as well. Let's jump into the hourly now to get a closer look to this last possible ABC, because really we don't know how it would be. If it is going to be our A, B, C, so first of all, I would like to uh, use my Fibonacci extension tool this time to just draw it as such and see what is going to be our possible target for this wave. I can see that, yeah, it is almost close to this level. Maybe it would be to have to move down a little bit to adjust it to this thumb. And also maybe I can uh, just also bring it back a little bit to also cover this point, because it's a weekly zone. It seems so wide in the hourly view. Anyhow, we can see now this level is inside this resistance zone. So if I shrink it, I can bring my arrows and DC and this intermediate wave. Also, I can bring it here into the view what we had. So this range market can be go to this heading to this level again as to complete this C level. Also, it is the target of the A. So these are the two actually reasons that I'm talking about this continuation of uptrend. What if I go back, if I dive into maybe 2 hours enough, take a closer look to these from this C itself and try to understand, okay, what kind of wave it is. So of course, this C is an impulsive wave. So now I can actually count these as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and possible 5, but these are going to be our minutes. So let's choose a more lighter color, and also it is not the minor but minute wave. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can be the target, the end of the C as the impulsive wave. I'm not seeing that these 5 waves get created. So this is the third reason that I'm still um, expecting to see a more uptrend to this level. Let's just take a closer look to this corrective structure, which seems we are inside it. That if I just try to draw 2 trend lines for this, it seems that it is some sort of triangle. It might be a possible one because it has not been created. So I can choose these actually triangle wave counting as the A, B, possible CEF, and this is not even minute, it is going to be minute. I don't know how to pronounce it, but let's choose a more lighter color for this one as well. So these A, B, C, D, E might be the possible continuation of this price. So as we are in the 2 hour time frame, I can come up with the conclusion as a short conclusion, the continuation of the momentum down to the bottom of this triangle, and maybe we are going to see these as well, this kind of momentum. And as we know, this triangle is an continuational pattern, so we are expecting that these B just after get continued after creation of this triangle. So as the midterm, I can come up with this conclusion that we are going to have this momentum to top, as we discussed several times, that we are expecting this, and this is our midterm conclusion for that. Also, if I bring up MACD, I can see that for this, going back to the 4 hour view, if I just zoom in a little bit, take a closer look to this triangle, possible triangle, of course, where we had a higher high. This is also a higher high here. It created a lower low, and it also created a lower low. So far, so good. Then after that, it created another higher high, but MACD just created the lower low, and this oscillator, it is indicating that we are going to have, or we already have a divergence here, as the price just did create a higher high, but in an uptrend in this triangle, but it was not successful to create a higher high, the same scenario on the MACD, so it has been created the divergence, which is a signal of the reversal. So that's why also in the hourly or maybe minutes time frame, we're going to see a double top as well, some sort of. So that's the reason in the short term I'm expecting a reversal to this point. But these are all when we want to count this corrective structure as our fourth minute wave as a triangle. Let me just remove this triangle and take a look at the side wave corrective structure, because it is a long um, kind of long-term corrective structure. I can see a range market. And if I go back to the 2 minutes, maybe 2 hour, maybe, if I forget about this shadow here on the top, I can actually see, let's go back to the 4 hour, maybe this is even a better view. So I can see some sort of as the top of these flats, if I want to count it as a flat. And also I'm going to have another zone as a flat here. So in that case, if that will be the case for this fourth wave, let's remove this rectangle wave counting. So it is going to be our first wave, this ABC, going to A, B, C to complete this fourth wave, and this ABC, let's choose that highlighted color and also not minor, one below that. So this ABC, it is going to be the flat. Again, as it is going to be almost the same momentum. With this also having that mind, because we don't know really how this correction will be. But anyhow, also with this interpretation, coming down to this level, it is going to be unexpected. And if it is going to be in a running flat, so this is our AB, but the seat is going to be a little bit on the top. So it will be counted as a running flat, and we still might see this kind of momentum. And then after that, as a midterm target or conclusion, we are going to see this uptrend to the top of, just heading forward to that weekly resistance zone. So I just wanted to come up with these both scenarios that you can look at these in both these two ways, but you're going to see the almost same momentum as the conclusion for our short term. So this arrow might be also be a little bit down in case of a flat, and then uh, coming back to this level as a midterm. Anyhow, let's jump into daily maybe to talk about a more longer conclusion. Let's reset the view and let me just clean up the chart. These minor waves are not really going to help us for this one. So in a daily view, also I can remove these. As we know, we talked about, we are expecting after maybe a short continuation of this correction, we are going to have the momentum to the top. Let me shrink the chart. Now it is much better. I can bring these here as well. As we know, it was a resistance zone on the 78 percentage and also 23 percentage of Fibo for the minor wave, as we discussed. So this is going to be a reversal to this one. Anyhow, for the long term, we counted these waves. These we talked about. Maybe it is better to jump into the weekly as well. Um, so this is going to be our midterm conclusion. Moving to top, we had two possible scenarios. The one was about the corrective structure as the fourth wave of this big impulsive wave downside. So this is going to be, if that's going to be the case, so let's also remove some of these arrows. I would like to have a better understanding and also remove these minor waves. So we had this W, uh, yeah, this W, but I want to move this call out. So we had this W here, X as the link and Y. So that was one of the reasons that I'm expecting to complete and reach out to this level to complete this W. And if it is going to be our force wave, so we had this combo corrective structure. Now we are as the long wave, we are going to see a momentum just back to the bottom of this uh, almost range market or channel. So from this point, again, we are going to see, we can see two possible scenarios, maybe continuation of this corrective structure, not WXY, but the triple combo as the WX, Y, another X, and Z can be the case. Or it might be the continuation as the fifth wave to complete this five-wave structure, just coming back and reaching back to these previous levels in the history. That's one of the case. What if we want to look at it as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? But let's remove this, and also as the long term, let's talk about this ABC format that we also, if I zoom out, we initially talked about the history of this chart because we're utilizing price action. It is really important to have a good understanding of actions that you're seeing in the history. So as we said, the charts look like these cryptocurrencies look like on heartbeat. We had a very range market, almost same price. The heartbeat returning back to almost same price, a little bit to the top, again another heartbeat, but not that much powerful, but reaching to the initial point, this time again a little bit to the top, not 100 percentage. So it might be the case this time as well. After continuation, maybe the possible this range market, again we might see a breakout to the top, which in my opinion is the rare case, because as we discussed, this resistance zone is the 78 percentage of this impulsive wave as the correction. Price has been moved further down, and now this 78 percentage is behaving as resistance. So breaking out this resistance, it is not something that I'm expecting, but because of that news that we are seeing that it created on the daily chart 25 percentage, if we reset the view, this huge news at 25 percentage momentum, and also we are seeing in the history that these kind of heartbeats momentum also might be possible. So that is my second scenario, which is rare from the probabilities perspective, but it is possible that we see the breakout to this resistance zone, which is a very powerful one, and going back and mm, probably, I don't know, maybe returning. But this also can be a possibility for the future as a long term. But for talking about long terms, it is not so wise. We really need to just dive into the lower time frames when we had that understanding about that long momentums, then to see the action of the price. Okay, this is will be the short. The midterm we are going to see moving up to this resistance zone, and then we need to wait and see how price has been reacted. It is going to be another big impulsive for the fifth wave of this third wave, as we just counted these minor impulsive, just a few moments ago. If it is going to be so powerful, so this long-term rare possibility also can come up and can be a reality, because as I said, we saw this kind of emotional going up and coming back to the almost same price. So this was our analysis for this cryptocurrency. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any question, you of course can jump into my Discord server, put your questions there. I will answer them as soon as I get a chance. Also, you can see my previous streams on my YouTube channel. If you're actually watching me as a recorded video, not live, I would be grateful to put some comments, give me some feedbacks about what you're seeing here. But until next analysis, thank you for watching me, and I hope you a great weekend.